You know that feeling when you encounter a style system or any other typing system and you can kind of see yourself in every type? How are you supposed to know that you're seeing yourself accurately and use the advice to actually get dressed? So today we're talking about how to bridge that gap between what a system tells you and what actually feels authentic to you. You've tried to find yourself in all the style systems, but something still doesn't feel aligned. I'm Rebecca Mielke. As a personality profiler and style strategist, I take you on a journey of self-discovery so you can create a signature style that really feels like you. As your first step to self-discovery today, I'm inviting you to download my brand new Guide to Design Psychology, where I break down Ellie Royden's style root system and share my analysis that connects her style roots to universal design archetypes and then to personality types and cognitive functions. Find the link in the show description or at my website, signaturestylesystems.com. So the truth is, there's really no such thing as getting your style wrong. But there is such a thing as feeling uncertain, which is like human beings' least favorite feeling. Uncertainty kills style confidence faster than almost anything else. So I experienced a little different version of this in my business actually a few years ago. So just before COVID, I had an experience where I was driving through town and I was headed to my volunteer job helping women pick out clothing for themselves that had been donated. These were women in a recovery program here in town. And I just had this overwhelming sense that I could do more for the world. So during COVID, it became apparent that that more was to lean into the skills I already had, which is doing this, and not to get a job with a nonprofit. So when I was really trying to launch an actual virtual style, like online style business, I had to completely step away from following anyone online that was talking about style. And what I was protecting myself from was getting discouraged by thoughts like everything I have to say is already being said better. And if I'm going to share any content, I need to always look perfect. Parenthetically, part of my thing with style is I kind of consider getting dressed an experiment. So if I don't look perfect, I'm okay with that as long as I look like myself. But here's what happened. When I stopped consuming anyone else's style content, I got really, really strong and solid in my own approach, my own philosophy. I've got my own uh, five-step system. And I realized that what matters isn't whether you fit perfectly into someone else's system. It's that you understand why something works for you. Then you can have that confidence rather than the uncertainty. So let's talk about style roots for a minute, because after like just recently, I have actually started watching a few videos on YouTube, and I think I have one style podcast that I listen to. So I'm just tiptoeing into kind of what has been developing while I was out of the style groups and all that. Um, this, so Ellie Royden created a system with 8 nature-based style personalities or expressions. And I heard about it through a client. And so when I started digging into trying to understand her system. I also want to say I ran into a couple of YouTube videos by, I might get her name wrong, Millie Velikova, I think. Anyway, they were fantastic and really helped me to understand um, what Ellie was going for in in her style roots. Anyway, then to help you understand the system better, I created a PDF with a list of universal design archetypes. It's a custom blend drawing from Ellie's work, Carla Mathis's work, and others. Um, so your cognitive functions actually can okay, so the PDF has the style roots, the universal design archetypes. So those are the commonly understood expressions of style, like elegant or sweet. And then I have also connected it to Jungian cognitive functions, which is part of the Myers-Briggs system. And so it explains if your Myers-Briggs type is this, then that's using this cognitive function, and it could be aligned with this style root and this design archetype. So your cognitive functions kind of explain the psychology behind what you're drawn to. And then Ellie recommends using a personal blend of three style roots, which fits almost perfectly with what I have um, in my personality style blueprints, which is a downloadable PDF that you can buy from my website. It's not very expensive. And it has it's like 10 pages of information about your personality type and then how to express it in style. And I recommend for your main look, you combine three of the functions, and then you have a playful aspect also that you can either include in or wear as a separate look. Um, so then if you understand the connection to personality, that kind of gives you permission to adopt the design archetype for yourself. I mean, you might think, I like this, but if you have a reason why you like it, it's easier to like make it your own. So I actually revised my thinking about the the expression of the personality types, especially just mainly one around introverted thinking. I think I was I had been too narrow in how I understood it, and I also conflated it with introverted feeling because they're both subjective judging functions. And so, yeah, so I'm going to be updating those personality style blueprints with that new understanding. So, but here's where most systems stop and how my approach is different. Your personality explains the why, but your actual aesthetic preferences, what you love when you see it, those matter just as much. So consider like what images make you just like stop and stare or your heart go pitter patter? What textures do you like constantly feel drawn to touch? And then what colors make you feel alive and happy and or relaxed or like doing something? These preferences are not separate from your personality. They're actually expressions of it, but they're your unique expressions. And then there's your body. Not in terms of like hiding flaws. I don't do that. But in terms of what creates visual harmony. So, like, what's a better reason to choose the shape of your pant leg? What everyone else is wearing, or the shape of your hip? So, your body has its own logic, its own proportions that create harmony. Some people, because of their body composition, need more structure in clothes. Some need more fluidity. Your body's lines and proportion, all of that is part of your signature style equation. What someone loves, what they are like inside as a person, and what harmonizes with their body are not different things. They're all facets of the same authentic self. So, using systems as a map to finding your true self is the most effective way to discover signature style. When your personality aligns, or when your personality functions align with your aesthetic preferences and both work with your body's natural harmony, that's when you get unshakable confidence. You're not following rules anymore. You understand the reasons. And then the system becomes a starting point for self-discovery, not a box that you have to fit into or some thing that you're imposing on yourself. So here's something simple you can do this week to integrate these principles into your wardrobe. Download my guide to design psychology and find yourself in the center column. That's the design archetypes. Choose the 3 that you relate the most to, and then see which style roots and personality types those align with. Thanks for being here for Signature Style Systems. Have fun being you, and I'll meet you back here again real soon.